The first thing that I know you guys are going to love about this camera is the compatibility with DJI Lidar autofocus. Our friend at Lumix have just released a few products. We do have a camera that no one expected, which is the Lumix S5D. If you're like me, you might have some question. Well, what is the difference between the S5D and the S5? Does it shoot open gate internal? Does it have a full-size HDMI? Well, let's find out together. There's also the world's smallest and lightest full-frame zoom lens with autofocus, which is the Lumix 18-40. Honestly, that's a very unique focal length that we are going to talk about. Also, if you do have the S9, Lumix have just made it brand new by releasing so many updates. And honestly, with the S9, one of the most exciting thing it is now you can turn on and off the recording limit, which give you more creative control as a creator. They've also added a new color, which is a smoky white, to the Lumix S9. Honestly, this is a very exciting day to Lumix user, and if you want to watch my other video where I spoke about everything that all those firmware brings to your camera, you can go and check that, because it is for the S9, S5 II, S5 IIX and the G9 Mark II. And guys, I'm telling you, you are going to like what this firmware update brings to your camera. But first of all, I really want to say thank you so much to Lumix for getting to know all this information beforehand, so I can make this video and get ready to release it after the embargo is lifted. So let's start with the smallest and lightest zoom lens with autofocus, full frame. Let's not forget that. And honestly, I was not expecting that. The reason why I'm liking this lens is because if you do have the Lumix S9, you now have the perfect lens combination to go with the camera. You can shoot everything wide at 18 and cover all your landscape and all your longer shots, and then go to mid and do all the medium close-up with 40mm, which is good. And obviously, this being a full frame, it means you can still use that on any other Lumix L mount full frame cameras or any other brand. And I feel like this is a very good day for those people that have been asking for a small, light and compact full frame lens. And obviously 18-40, it's not that bad at all. Another thing that I do like about this lens is because if you do a lot of handheld or you do vlogging, this lens is 155 gram, very light. And also, let's say you do use this lens with the Lumix S9 using the hybrid zoom, this lens can extend up to 18 to 120mm, which means you'll be able to cover all your shots. And obviously, the price of this lens is also good, meaning it's going to be a very good combo to add to your collection. Let me know what you think about the lens. Let's move on to the next product. And now, let's talk about the Lumix S5D. Number one, I was not expecting this. I'll tell you that. My expectation was way different, and the reality was the S5D. So let me tell you, first of all, I feel like now it makes more sense why Lumix introduced this camera, because they want to give you another option. And the first thing that I know you guys are going to love about this camera is the compatibility with DJI Lidar autofocus. So basically, when you pair your camera with a DJI Lidar rangefinder module or with the RS3 Pro, the focusing distance information is sent to the camera using USB, and your camera is going to handle all the focusing, meaning you don't need to have a motor on your setup. This makes everything very compact and easy for those people who just want to set up and be ready to go, and it saves so much time as well. Not only that, This also eliminates the whole process of having to calibrate your lens, which is good for those people that heavily use the gimbal. And now you could be shooting a wedding, a concert, or anything. You just reach into your bag, you change the lens, and you don't need to worry about, well, my motor is, I need to make sure that I adjust everything or also calibrate again. This is a lifesaver, and this feature is such a feature that I'm honestly looking forward to trying when I get my hand on this camera. And obviously, just like the Lumix S5, this camera have all the nice features that we know and love, and I see why Lumix had to bring this camera back, to be able to give so many people the option to choose between the S5, S5 II, S5 IIX, and now S5D. And you can get the S5D and the Lumix 18-40, which will be a very good combination. Okay guys, let me tell you something. I'm waiting to get my hand on this camera so I can talk more about it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Panasonic invited a few of us to London to go and preview everything that I have just told you. But when I went, I was very excited for one reason, and let me tell you why. So when I went and there was announcing we've got a new lens and a new camera, and my expectation was the S1H2. I promise you, that's the camera I was expecting. And when they say this is the S5D, I ask myself a lot. And number one, what's the difference between this camera and the S5? Does he have full-size HDMI? Because I had to pick the S5 and then this one, and trying to see what's the difference here. Does it shoot open gate internal? I know it does not have phase detection autofocus, which is a great option for those people that really do not care about phase detection and they just want to focus on great price, great image quality, and so much more. And that's why I actually thought the S5 was, and now seeing another camera that's very similar to the S5, and I'm like, well, Panasonic, what is this? But it makes sense now because this is feel like an update to the S5, and obviously now it's called the S5D. Panasonic, let me tell you something. So when Panasonic made the VeriCam back in the days, and they also made the EVA or the EVA1, that era, Panasonic was missing so many components, in my opinion, because their autofocus was still improving and the color was still improving. The reason why I'm saying that, because if they take the S5 IIX sensor, put it in the EVA body, I'm telling you, Sony FX6 have some big competition, because you guys have mastered autofocus, you guys have mastered your color science, you guys have mastered IBIS, you guys have mastered to work with Blackmagic RAW. Bring that camera. S1H2, that's the camera that I was really excited about. But honestly, I really love everything that Lumix released today. But honestly, like I said, I cannot wait to get my hand on this camera and try it for myself and get to show you what it can do. I'm actually preparing for a short film, and I might actually take the S5D and push it to the limit, just like I did with the S5 IIX. If you've not seen that video, go and watch it. But guys, that's it for today. I want to say thank you to Lumix for all the information. I want to say thank you to everyone that watched my channel, because without you, I would not be making this video. So I highly appreciate you guys. If you want to subscribe, you can do that. But if you just want to watch, I also appreciate your support. See you when I see you.